Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send.
Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues. This song has always captured my imagination. There's something so beautifully melancholy about the chords and the melody that just transports me somewhere. Maybe it's the English countryside, I don't know. But what I do know is I've got an awesome sounding and easy piano arrangement for you to do your own cover of this classic song. Let's jump in. All right. So first things first, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description that'll help you follow along and see where the lyrics and the chords line up with each other. Let's start out with the intro. Here's the chords for that. So we've just got an E minor chord. This is an inversion on a root position E minor chord like this. This is a middle C for reference here. So I've got my thumb on B, third finger on E, and pinky on G. And throughout this arrangement, I'm going to be doing a lot of fifths in our left hand. So 2 octaves lower here, I'm just going to play an E and a B. So even though we're doing an inversion in our right, we're kind of doing the fifths in the left as if we're doing the root position. So that's what we've got for that E minor. Then for the D chord, same idea. In fact, you can just look at the left hand and just step those fifths down to D and A for the D chord. And we're going to be doing a really similar inversion here in the right. A, D, and F sharp. I like using 1, 2, and 4 here because it's really nice to pivot between those 2 chords because your second and fourth finger are already kind of hovering where they need to be for the D. So you can just go back and forth on that a little bit. A lot of the song is going back and forth between those 2 chords. Now, we're in 6/8 time, so each of these measures gets 6 counts. And a thing to know about 6/8 time for this song and many others is you want to put a little extra emphasis in the way you feel beat 1 and beat 4. So you're kind of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. And actually, right off the bat there, let's put our right-hand chords on beat 1 and beat 4. So it would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would be the whole intro. Now I'm going to do a little bit more with my left hand. Instead of just hitting the fifths together, I'm going to hit the root of it on beat 1. And then I'm going to hit the fifth on beat 3. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. In fact, I'm even probably going to hit on beat 6 as well. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the fifth there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And you can vary it a little bit, maybe sometimes on beat 6 hitting the root again instead of the fifth. So I'll probably play around with that throughout this arrangement. But I think that sounds really nice, and we can move on to the verse. So here's the underlying chords for the verse, and you can see it starts out with the first 4 measures are the same as the intro. I'm just going to continue the pattern we were doing. It's going to sound like this.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end.
Okay, so now we're at this C chord. So the left hand fifths can just step down to C and G there. And here I am going to do a root position C major chord, C, E, G. So coming from this D here, our pinky's already kind of where it needs to be, and our third finger as well. It's pretty easy to just kind of step into that C major chord for letters I've written. So going to the G now. So I'm gonna just hop these left hand fifths up to G and D up here. So pretty big jump there. And from this C we're on, our pinky can stay where it was. We're doing an inversion, stepping down first and second finger here on B and D, and then G up here. So there's our G chord.
Written
Then now we're going to go to this F. So left hand's just going to step down to the F fifths, F and C. And we're going to do an inversion like that. Thumb on C, third finger on F, pinky on A. And this is nice because this is the same inversion as the E minor we're doing, same exact shape, and that's how this line ends, just stepping down into that. So that transition is really easy. Another thing you can play with in 6/8 time is just like on the counts, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A lot of times on 4, 5, 6, it's nice. You can just do little arpeggios. I might play with that. Where I'm going to do that most likely is, you notice how at the end of the verse line is an E minor, and then it says times 2. So you repeat it back, and it starts with the E minor. So you have these 2 measures of E minor that get played back to back once you repeat it around. In the last E minor, there's not really anything happening vocally there. So in that space, I'll probably add little arpeggios you could do going up or going down or mixing it up a little bit. So I'm going to play that whole line kind of going into the second line of the verse.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed.
I'm sure you heard it there. So this is where it's a mellotron is the instrument, but it's mimicking strings here to do that beautiful. Oh, it's so moody. So let's add that if it's not too tricky for you. So basically, beauty I've always missed. So we're going to need to divide the beats in half, be thinking the ands in between the counts. And the melody notes happen on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and again, 4, and 5, and 6, and the melody notes are just stepping up from D to G and back down with the F being sharp. 4 and 5 and 6 and actually after the F sharp it skips back down to D. So D, E, F sharp, G, F sharp, D. And when it starts, I'm gonna hit the low A here because it's beat 4 that it starts, right? And we've been hitting the chords on beat 4. But if we include the F sharp, it kind of steals the thunder from the melody note we want to hear. That's why I'm arranging it that way. 1, 2, 3. Beauty I've always 4 and 5 and 6 and then you can just step back into with these eyes before, same thing, 4 and 5 and 6 and then this time of course it lands on the C. Just what the truth is. So then this is all gonna be the exact same as it just was. I can't say anymore. And then we're in the chorus. A couple other options for the overall playing pattern, if you're looking for something a little bit trickier, would be to expand the left hand into not just the fifths, but also the octave, second finger on the fifths. One way to do it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically the same rhythm that we're doing, but just expanding the left hand notes a little bit. You could also do this pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So playing on every count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just kind of skipping up and passing it to the right hand and then back down. So I don't think I'm going to do that in my cover, but I wanted to mention it. So here is the underlying chords for the chorus. And the first couple of chords out here last 2 measures, and right when we hit the chorus, we're gonna get a little bit more intense. I'm just gonna start pulsing on every single count. So first chord out is an A major. So we're gonna do A fifths in the left hand, A and E. And then the A major chord is A, C sharp, and E here. So just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice I'm hitting beat 1 and beat 4 a little harder. Yes, I love you. So going to the C here, same C we've been doing, but getting powerful here. I'm going to use octaves here. If you can't make that stretch, you could do the fifths or single bass notes. Love you. Oh, how I love you. So same thing here for the E minor. I'm just doing the octaves. Love you. So here we're back to going back and forth between E minor and D. Right hand, same shapes as the other sections. Just doing the octaves, and there's some cool extra layers, I think, with the mellotrons again, that imply this part that I'm going to add in here. This is what it's going to sound like. So basically, for those measures of E minor, instead of doing the full E minor, just the B and the E for beat 1, 1, 2, 3, and then on beat 4 hitting the full E minor. And I'm still pulsing here, and I've been pulsing with both hands up until this moment, but here I'm going back to just hitting beat 1 and 4 in the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, beat 1 of the D chord. Love that there. D, E, and F all together. So we can kind of be in the shape we've been using for the D chord. But first we just do those three on 2, 3, and 4 for the fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for the 4, beat 4 there, just doing the A and the D. So like the bottom part of the chord. And then, yeah, so looped around, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gazing at people. So that was just dropping into verse 2. I'm going to play verse 2 just like the first one, except for the melody. Instead of starting in the middle, it goes the whole time. Now on the recording, the mellotron goes up an octave here, but it doesn't really work when we're doing both the melody and the chords. So that's that verse. Then we are on to the second chorus. So here's the chorus for the second chorus. It is literally the same thing as the first chorus. It's just there's these extra 2 little measures of E minor at the end I want to point out. So from the second half of the first line, when we get to that part we were just talking about with the... So here's the second line. So these 2 measures are sort of the song taking a brief rest before the solo section. So when we hit the first E minor here, I'm just gonna do that. So again, we're leaving out the third of the chord, just kind of keeping it nice and light here. I will do the octaves there probably, but gently. And then we're gonna just go octave, 5th, 3rd, root. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on beat 1, you can just hit that again. I think I hit the top octave again before, but I'll probably just end on that. So just the E and just those 2 notes again. So those 2 measures will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can just kind of hold it out there, or you could even do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So now we're in the solo part. I love this section. Here's the underlying chords for this section, and we're gonna do the chords with our left hand because our right hand's gonna be playing the melody. So let's just walk through all these chords. The first line we've got an E minor, and we're gonna do all of these chords in root position. So E minor is just E, G, and B, step down to D, D, F sharp, and A, down to C, C, E, G, and then we've got this B7, B, D sharp, F sharp, and A, and it goes around those chords twice. And then in the second line, we've got E minor to C. And all through this section, I'm probably going to just be pulsing on every count. So like 1, 2, 3, 4 from the beginning of the second line here. 3, 4, 5, 6, C. And now we've got this A minor, just exact same shape, just go all the way down, A, C, E, 2, 3, up to the B7, back to the A minor, to the B7. And actually, this is where it switches and the right hand's gonna take over the chords again. So let's just focus on these 2 lines and I will show you the right hand notes. So here's the first line. We've got the chords in the measures there, and then above is the right hand single notes you play. And I think I've got the timing pretty aligned here. So notice that that B happens before the E minor. So that's kind of at the end of where we had just left off with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So it's on beat 6 as a pickup note, then E, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's just F sharp, G. 2, 3, 4 for the fingers there. Then when you hit this D chord, we've got F sharp, E, D, and those are twice as fast as the counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just stepping up E, F sharp. And actually, I'm gonna do something a little fancy with the fingers there. Going back, we got da, 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 da. Before we step to this E, F sharp at the end of this measure, I'm gonna actually put my third finger on this E. E, F sharp, that sets us up to be able to play E, D, C, 2, 3, 4, D, E, and then D sharp when we hit the B7. Play through that one more time with all the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll probably be using the sustain pedal in this section, just doing a little lift every time the chord changes. Here's the next line. It's really similar. All the rhythms are the same, but the melody goes a little higher. So we've got B, E, 2, 3, 4, F sharp, G, A, G, F sharp. So going all the way up to our pinky on A, G, F sharp, 3, 4, G, E, G, F sharp, E, 4, F sharp, G, F sharp, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Here is the third line here. This part's really cool. We've got B, B flat, and then A, G, E, and that happens really quick. The B, B flat, da da da, and then G on the last count of that measure, beat 6. And then it does the same thing again, although the phrasing is a little different. This time, it gets to the A a little bit faster, and then G, E, 3, 4, 5, G. So same thing twice, but the rhythm's a little different, and it's a little bit hard to follow. I feel like you can kind of fudge it a little bit. It was probably sort of improvised when they recorded it. Okay, last line of the melody here. So here's where we go to A minor in the left, but we've got A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just make sure you're doing that A with your third finger, because then you can reach all the way up to the C with your pinky. A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. B with fourth finger. B, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing again. A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. B, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's look at the next two lines of chords, and then I'll play everything back. But so the next two lines of chords, we've got this E minor, then D, C. So notice that I'm just pulsing octaves here on the left and holding the chords for the whole measure in the right. Now, just to kind of mimic the orchestration they have for this E minor, yet again, this has been coming up a lot. I'm only doing the bottom two notes. I'm not adding that note, because that way we get this little melody here where the top note is ah, and then ah, ah, this rising feeling even though the chords are stepping down. And then we just land in just like we've been doing at the end of the choruses. So let me play through that whole solo section one more time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2.
Nights in white satin.
So then we are in the third verse. Now the third verse is same thing as the first verse, the same lyrics as the first verse. The only thing I'm going to do different is halfway through, I'm going to bring that more intense pulse in the left hand. So after
Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed.
So probably just pulse with the fifths and
With these eyes before, just what the truth is, I can't say anymore.
you could even just hold the right hand for the whole measures. 'Cause I love you. Then we are in the final chorus. And the final chorus is basically 2 times through the chorus as we've done it, but with this random little 2 measures of E minor in the middle. And we're actually going to do those measures of E minor without the G yet again. And here's the rhythm. We're going to hit, so we got to count the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And we're going to hit on 1 and 3, 4 and 6. So like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Da 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 da. It does 2 measures of that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. If that's tricky, just slow it way down. Just do it mathematically. 1 and 2 and 3 and like that, and then you can speed it up. But it sounds really cool. So that's 'cause I love you. I'll probably just hit the 4, 5, 6 as I start singing. 'Cause I love you. Going into that final time through.
Yes, I love you. Oh, how I love you.
So we do that again.
Oh, how I love you.
And then finish on an E minor. I'll probably voice it that way, the way we've been doing in the verses with the fifths there. Just gonna play it really gentle there. And then the song is over. All right, thank you for watching. I'm now going to do a complete run through so you can see how all these parts fit together. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Also, please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this one. Also, leave a request in the comments. And now, here is my version of Nights in White Satin.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed, with these eyes before, just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, they can't understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend, just what you want to be, you'll be in the end. And I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, how I love you. Oh, how I love you. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed, with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you.